If I'm not there, just a sense of humor. She's been worse for over 4 years. So it's funny.
We're trying to do an executive session.
Oh, that's great for that. Yeah, that's okay.
What's that?
Media's got it all covered, all angles.
Yes.
I just gotta get smart of the machine. Yeah, I'll yell.
If it's not one thing, it's different.
The video's okay, it's just the audio part. They got better audio. I'll fix it.
Order the Board of Commissioners meeting. We'll run into the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a special guest, Dick Goodman, formerly of K1P and now with KQSM. KSQM. So, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Dick?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Chair Chapman? Here. Commissioner Elias?
Here.
Administrator Jones?
I'm here. A request for modifications or approval of the agenda. Are there any modifications?
No modifications, just want to reserve a spot to make some staff introductions during the reports and presentations.
All right, in that case, I move to approve the agenda.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And for the record, Commissioner Peach is still recovering from surgery. He'll be back next week, it sounds like. Public comment for agenda items. Is there any member of the public wishing to make comment on any agenda items? Seeing no one. Consent agenda.
Thank you. Item 1A is approval of vouchers for the week of May 9th. Item 1B is approval of minutes for the week of May 9th. And item 1C is approval of payroll for the period ending April 30th.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So reports and presentations. We'll start off with Administrator Jones, who has some presentations.
I do.
Changes.
Thank you. As you may remember, our longtime Health and Human Services Director, Iva Burks, is retiring June 30. And so we've been going over plans and what we can do to replace her. And we're real successful last week with our interviews of internal staff and kind of came up with a new way of putting the department together. And I'd like to introduce for the first time our new HHS director starting June 1st. He'll be transitioning with Iva for a little crossover for 1 month, and that would be Andy Brastad, our current environmental health director. So Andy's been here for 28 years, Andy?
30 years.
30 years. And an idea that came to the fore while we were interviewing, recognizing that this job has gotten so big and so time-consuming and with so much community outreach, we made the decision, we were so blown away during interviews, we made the decision to to create an assistant director HHS position, and we've figured out a way to manage it within the existing money. And that will be Kim Yackman also starting, and she and Andy will be working together and training with Iva for the next month. So Kim's been here for me.
Do either one of you want to say anything?
Sure.
Why not?
Do I need to introduce myself? First of all, I want to say I don't think anybody could really replace Ivan. So,
That's why it's taking two of you.
exactly.
There's some truth to that.
I am just very honored to be able to continue serving citizens of Clallam County in this new position of Health and Human Services Director, and I look forward to the continued really good relationships we have with our stakeholders and the partners that we have for providing the community the services that Health and Human Services does. So I thank you very much, and I am very pleased to have the support of the board, and I'm willing to work hard. Thank you.
Ivan, say anything?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. I'm very pleased with the selection process and how it went. And with Administrator Jones's suggestion as to how we restructure. I think it will be very good for the department and very good for the county. So I think you chose two very good people. It shows the quality of the employees of Clallam County.
And your interview team again was?
Interview team was Commissioner Zayas and myself, Rich Sill, and Dr. Frank. And then Iva was there as a consultant, non-voting member.
Mark, you were part of the team.
Yes.
On the same.
Well, I guess I would just like to echo Iva's comments that the interview process highlighted the incredible quality of people that work for the county, and whether it doesn't matter what department we're looking at or talking about. I think citizens have every reason to be incredibly proud of people who work for the county, and I congratulate both of you, and I'm looking forward to working more closely together.
Great. Yes, you must have, there's the clause in the charter that calls out career service.
Yes.
Career service opportunities, so this
Yes.
would be a fulfillment really of a clause in the charter that I think often gets overlooked. And so I commend the team for coming together and crafting a solution that recognizes Andy and Kim's, Kim, you're closing in on 28 years, Andy 30, so I think this is exactly what the county charter calls out for. I think this makes a great solution, so I commend all of you for coming together.
Well, and we would be remiss in not acknowledging Jim for his creative thinking and willingness to put the puzzle together in a different way, and creative thinking that allowed that. So thank you, Jim.
As I understand, it's somewhat budget neutral.
It is budget neutral, and that was an important component, no question, but it was just, during the interview process, it became so apparent to me that we had people here that could blend their talents so well together for a greater benefit. And as Iva knows, in our last evaluation, one of my concerns was this job had gotten too big for one person, and I just hadn't been able to figure out how to do it effectively, and it just all came together during the interview process when the strengths of these two candidates, and really we had another one that really good too that'll be later, that came together showing how it could work. So it was just, it all came together.
It reminds me when, for those who remember when Craig Jacobs, who had been our Director of Public Works, retired, instead of replacing Craig, you crafted a similar solution. Basically promoted 3 people within the department into over various aspects. So seems like a real similar solution, and that's been
Trying to get it done within the resources available.
exactly. So, well, great. Thanks for everyone who worked on that, and welcome Andy and Kim. And so we'll be seeing you a lot more, I suppose. Pretty soon, Iva will be having you sit up here at the big table. So. No, you won't have them sit up there? I said pretty soon you'll be having them sit up here.
Oh, yes.
You'll stay, I said. No, I meant, well. So reports and presentations, Commissioner Ozias.
Just briefly, last week I attended a regional meeting of the Olympic Workforce Development Council, and this is a tri-county agency that across the country, because of the way that national funding is flowing, is adopting a new strategy around the subject of workforce development, and it's called a sector strategy. And between the 3 counties, we are working to determine what the right sector is to start with. We're looking at building and construction trades and or healthcare. So that decision will be coming out soon. But the concept is that rather than looking at displaced workers who need retraining and trying to figure out what kind of training to provide, this sort of turns the coin over and starts with industry CEOs and leaders who work together as a peer group to discuss what their job needs are and what their future job needs are expected to be, which can then inform the workforce development and worker training that's done so that it's relevant to the industry leaders who are looking for employees. So it'll be a number of months before we completely roll it out, but I think it holds good promise, and is, again, it's a strategy that is being adopted all across the country. So we're not, not reinventing the wheel, but setting it up in a way that has been proven to work effectively.
It was nice to see Mark Nichols, Mark Ozias, Sheriff Benedict, and myself. We all had breakfast this morning for the Boys and Girls Club, kind of awareness. It wasn't really a fundraiser, but more of an awareness of a good project that they're undertaking. So, gentlemen, thanks for having breakfast together this morning. So, it was well attended. Jim?
Nothing else from me.
Sheriff, do you have anything you want to add? Report? You're good? Very good. Iva?
No, sir.
Anybody? No takers? Okay. Contracts and agreements.
Item 2A is amendment number 2 with the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services to add funding for contractors to provide substance abuse and mental health treatment.
I move to approve Amendment 2 with the Washington State Department of Social and Health Services.
It's moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item 2B is a contract extension for monthly maintenance and purchase order for hardware and software components to perform the phone and voicemail system upgrades, all as was discussed in work session on May 9th.
Move to approve the contract extension for monthly maintenance and purchase order for hardware and software components to perform the phone and voicemail system upgrades.
It's moved and seconded. Any questions, comments?
Just one quick comment. Congratulations to Debbie and the IT department for saving us some money and going about this in such a thoughtful way. Thank you.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Administration.
Item 3A is resolution appointing an authorized representative and alternate for disaster assistant funding and administration, all as was discussed yesterday in work session, and this would name Sheriff Benedict as the authorized representative, and Under Sheriff Cameron as the alternate.
I move to approve the resolution appointing an authorized representative and alternate for disaster assistance funding and administration.
It's moved and seconded. Any questions, comments?
I'll make a comment, if it wasn't made clear yesterday, that that in no way removes the obligation of emergency management from the county commissioners. This was just something so that we can handle funding and whatnot, but the county commissioners in the event of a disaster are the emergency managers.
Thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Budget?
Item 4A is a notice that the following supplemental appropriations will be adopted by resolution on May 31st. Under Chemical Dependency Mental Health, receipt of additional money from Washington State Department of Social and Health Services in the amount of $47,238.
I move to approve providing notice that a supplemental appropriation for chemical dependency and mental health will be adopted on May 31st.
It's moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Then item 4B, and I didn't catch this earlier, but it's a resolution calling for a hearing to be held 10:30 a.m. It says April 26th on the agenda, but in the resolution it's May 31st for consideration of the following debatable emergencies. Under Health and Human Services, Chemical Dependency Mental Health, unexpended revenue from 2015 is being carried forward to the 2016 budget to pay for contracted professional services in the amount of $257,000. And under Sheriff's Operations, to pay the repair costs for a Sheriff's Office patrol vehicle number 329 that was damaged in an accident in April in the amount of $12,000.
I move to approve the resolution calling for a public hearing to be held May 31st at 10:30 a.m. For consideration of two debatable emergencies, Health and Human Services and Sheriff's Operations.
It's moved and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. No bids and awards, no community development, no public works items. We have two public hearings at 10:30. Is there any member of the public wishing to just make general comments for the board? If not, we'll recess until 10:30, which time we'll have two public hearings, one on the 10-year capital facilities plan and another authorizing the sale of surplus property. So if there's no objection, we'll recess for 14 minutes. Objections over. We're back on the record. We have a couple of public hearings, but actually before we go, we have another piece of business to deal with after the public hearings, I think. So, but real quick, Brian has a request of the board, so why don't you come on up and ask for your request.
Yes, for the record, Brian White from the Prosecuting Attorney's Office. The Prosecuting Attorney's Office is looking to know a special meeting to occur tomorrow for purposes of an executive session to discuss a matter of pending litigation. Because it's a request for a special meeting, we would need to have that be requested by the chair of the board or a majority of the Board of County Commissioners. And we're just looking to dot our i's and cross our t's with proper notice. That will also do paper notice and electronic notice as required by law, but we're just asking for a vote so that we know it's from, that we have the support of the chair and or the board, majority of the Board of County Commissioners.
Thank you, Brian. I move to approve attendance of a special executive session tomorrow at 11:15 to discuss matters of pending litigation.
Seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So you'll note it up for the public.
Yes, we will do all the paper notice, contacting the media, as well as posting it at the chief places of our in and outs here.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Back to our public hearings. Hearing number one is a proposed resolution amending the 10-year capital facilities plan. So, Jim.
Yes, thank you. At a work session we had 3 weeks ago, we discussed amending the 10-year capital facilities plan. And while we don't really have anything in policy, and in my 10 years here, we've never done this amendment to the capital facilities plan formally before, but in the interest of being more transparent, we always approve the plan during the budget, the annual budget, and then it's a plan, and you move on. So in order to be a little bit more transparent and let people know what we're doing, and also really to show a real good comparison document at the end of the year of what we planned and what we did, Joel and I have talked about anytime we are making a change in what we had planned to do during the year, we thought we would come and just ask for a resolution amending the plan to be the new change. So in this particular case, it doesn't necessarily call for a hearing, but the board thought, why not, to do an amendment by resolution, but why not and allow people to speak about it if they wished. In this particular case, the amendment is you have in your packets the capital facilities plan, a 10-page document, and on page 7 is where the amendment is taking place under the Opportunity Fund expenditures, and we are changing what had been $1 million of undesignated projects into $735,000, but it's the actual approval by the commissioners was $731,705, so we'd be under the plan. $735,000 for Parks and Rec District 1 SARC expenditures, and then the remainder of that $1,265,000 would still remain in undesignated projects until and unless new projects came along recommended to you by the Opportunity Fund Advisory Board. So we have a resolution that says all the fines as follows, and now therefore is basically that the 10-year plan is amended to move $731,705 from undesignated projects to Park and Rec District 1 SARC with a remaining balance of $268,295 for the undesignated projects. We've actually, and then the budget director will prepare the necessary documents to affect the board's intent. So that would be the staff report.
Any questions of staff?
No.
Is anybody signed up on the sign-up sheet?
Let's see.
No. I will just. No. So, no one signed up, I'll move to open the public hearing. No one has signed up on the sheet. So is there any member of the public wishing to make comment on this item? Forward. No one's here to testify on this item. Motion.
Yeah, I move to approve the resolution amending the 10-year capital facilities plan
And to close the public hearing.
and to close the public hearing.
The motion to close the public hearing and adopt the resolution amending the 10-year capital facilities plan. Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And for the record, I believe Commissioner Peach was fully briefed on this.
He was.
He raised no objection.
None whatsoever.
Second public hearing is proposed resolution authorizing the sale of surplus property.
We have Alice here in the sheriff's office to talk about it, and the sheriff is here as well. I don't know if one of you wants to talk about it, but we had this is an ordinary course of business when somebody retires, typically for when an officer retires to make a presentation to him of his service weapon, because new officers get new weapons. And as a governmental entity, we're not allowed to give away, and our specific policies prohibit any of our employees from buying at a surplus sale anything that we've made surplus. So the workaround, the practice that generally happens is that the board declares the weapon, in this case a Glock 22/40 Smith & Wesson pistol, declaring it as surplus, and then the union ends up buying it for fair market value as determined by a used gun dealer, but it takes first the board to declare the item surplus.
What does it say, yes? This is retired Deputy McLaughlin.
Wow.
Okay. Anything else, Sheriff?
That's, it's about the fifth time we've done that, so fifth or sixth.
Nobody signed up to testify. If there's no objection, we'll open the public hearing. Is there any member of the public wishing to make comment on this item? If not,
All right, I move to approve the resolution authorizing the sale of surplus property and to close the public hearing.
so it's moved and seconded to close public hearing and adopt the resolution authorizing the sale of surplus property. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Public comment. Once again, is there any member of the public wishing to make any comment before the board? No executive session today, but as just noted, there'll be one tomorrow morning at 11:15. If there's anything else before the board this week, we sit as the Board of Health, with the Board of Health this afternoon at 1:30. Executive session tomorrow at 11:15, and this week's meeting will be continued to tomorrow at 11:15, and you can continue it to the following Monday.
Great.
No objections, so ordered.